Top leadership exam question: how to fix strategic execution breakdown. This is a classic leadership test. It's not just about credit risk, it's about crisis management, strategic realignment, and people leadership. The interviewers want to see if you can diagnose complex problems, formulate a coherent plan, and inspire a team to turn things around. Your answer needs to be structured, actionable, and demonstrate a multifaceted approach. Don't just jump to solutions. Start with diagnosis. A great answer begins with a structured framework. I recommend a 3-phase approach for your 90-day plan. Phase 1, diagnose and stabilize. Phase 2, realign and re-engage. And Phase 3, execute and accelerate. This shows you're methodical and can manage a complex situation without panicking. Let's start with Phase 1, which covers the first 30 days, diagnose and stabilize. Your primary goal here is to stop the bleeding and understand the root causes of the failure. First, I initiate a portfolio triage. This isn't just a standard review. I would assemble a small, cross-functional task force of my best credit analysts, relationship managers, and workout specialists. Their immediate mandate is to assess every single loan in the high-tech startup portfolio. We need to categorize them, which are salvageable, which require immediate restructuring, and which are likely losses. This immediate, hands-on action shows the CEO you're taking control and prioritizing financial stability. It also stops the delinquency rate from spiraling further. Simultaneously, I would launch a listening tour. The numbers tell one story, but the people tell the real one. I'd schedule one-on-one meetings with every member of my team, from senior underwriters to junior analysts. I'd ask open-ended questions like, what's the biggest obstacle you face when trying to underwrite a startup loan? Or what was your understanding of the strategy when it was first rolled out? I'd also meet with stakeholders outside my department, the head of sales, the chief risk officer, and even some of the relationship managers who are supposed to be sourcing these deals. The goal is to uncover the why behind the breakdown. Is it a skills gap? A flawed credit model? A broken incentive structure? Or a culture of fear? This demonstrates your people-centric leadership and your ability to gather qualitative data to complement the quantitative analysis. You're not just a numbers person. You're a leader who understands that strategy is executed by people. The final piece of Phase 1 is a process and policy deep dive. I would personally review the credit underwriting policies and procedures that were established for this new startup sector. Were they realistic? Were they developed with input from the front line? Did we equip our teams with the right tools and training to evaluate companies with non-traditional financial profiles? I suspect the existing models, designed for established businesses, were simply not fit for purpose. This part of your answer shows you're attentive to the operational details and understand that a flawed process will always undermine a brilliant strategy. By the end of day 30, you'll have a clear, data-driven diagnosis of the problem. You'll have stabilized the immediate crisis, and you'll have earned the initial trust of your team by listening to them. You can walk into a meeting and say, here's what's wrong, here's the data to prove it, and here's what we've already done to contain the damage. Now we move into Phase 2, for days 31 to 60, realign and re-engage. With a clear diagnosis, it's time to build the solution and get everyone on board. The first step is to redefine what success looks like. The original strategy was flawed. A blanket 15% target was too blunt. I would work with my task force and the chief risk officer to develop a more nuanced, smart growth strategy. Instead of a single target, we'd segment the startup market. Perhaps we focus on series and B companies in specific subsectors where we have a competitive advantage, like fintech or health tech. We'd create a revised risk appetite statement that's realistic, with graduated targets and leading key performance indicators, not just lagging ones like delinquency rates. This demonstrates strategic thinking. You're not just executing someone else's failed plan, you're co-creating a better, more intelligent one. Next, and this is critical, is to overhaul the tools and training. It's clear the team wasn't equipped to succeed. I would propose a startup credit certification program. This isn't a one-off webinar. It's a comprehensive training module developed with external experts focusing on things like venture debt, recurring revenue models, and customer acquisition cost analysis. Alongside this, I champion the development of a new credit scoring model specifically for startups incorporating non-traditional data points. I would make my team part of the development process. By empowering them to help build the tools, you create ownership and turn them from victims of a bad strategy into architects of a new one. This shows the interviewers you're committed to investing in your people's capabilities, which is a cornerstone of sustainable performance. The final part of Phase 2 is about communication and re-engagement. I would host an all-hands strategy relaunch meeting. But this wouldn't be a top-down lecture. I would present the findings from my listening tour, acknowledging the team's frustrations and validating their experiences. I would say you were right. The previous approach was broken. Here's what we learned, and here's the new plan we've built together. I would present the new smart growth strategy and the investment in training and tools. I would also revise the incentive structure. Instead of rewarding just loan volume, we'd create a balanced scorecard that rewards high-quality underwriting, proactive risk management, and collaboration. This transparent, inclusive approach is key to rebuilding morale and transforming a culture of fear into a culture of empowered, intelligent risk-taking. Finally, we arrive at Phase 3, covering days 61 to 90, execute and accelerate. This phase is all about turning the plan into action and building momentum. The first action is to launch a pilot program. We don't go all in on the new strategy at once. We select a small, dedicated team, the startup growth pod, to pilot the new approach in a controlled environment. This pod would consist of our newly certified underwriters and dedicated relationship managers. They would focus on a specific, predefined market segment. This pilot approach is smart for two reasons. First, it minimizes risk. We can test and refine our new credit models and processes on a small scale. Second, it's designed to create early wins. By focusing our best people on the most promising segment, we can secure a few high-quality deals quickly. These early successes are crucial for building confidence across the entire department. While the pilot is running, the next step is to establish a rigorous performance management cadence. I'd implement weekly huddles with the pilot team to resolve issues in real time and monthly strategy reviews with senior leadership to track progress against our new KPIs. We'd be looking at leading indicators, the number of qualified leads in the pipeline, the time to decision on new applications, and qualitative feedback from our new startup clients. This isn't micromanagement. It's active performance management. It demonstrates that you're a hands-on leader who is accountable for results and can maintain momentum over the long term. This structured communication keeps everyone aligned and allows for quick adjustments to the strategy as we learn.